Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what I think is the Shiba Inu of this cycle. Now, if you're watching this video, then you probably know what Shiba Inu is. It was by far one of the best trades of the last cycle. You know, people who caught Shiba Inu early turned a very small amount into a very large amount. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing what I think could be the Shiba Inu of this cycle. So as you guys can see, Shiba Inu, we don't have all of the data here, but you can see it had an absolutely insane run, you know, especially from kind of early October to the end of October. It went from a $3.5 billion market cap all the way up to a $41 billion market cap. And it currently sits at still the 11th highest market cap coin. So it's held up pretty well. And again, you know, in the last month, it's up 300%, and it will probably continue. You know, it wouldn't surprise me to see a Shiba Inu all-time high at some point this cycle. And the same thing with Doge as well, right? Doge, you can see $24 billion market cap. Again, it wouldn't surprise me to see a Doge all-time high at some point this cycle. Definitely, I think that we'll break $1, maybe get close to $2. At a push, maybe somewhere around the $3 sort of mark. I think with the success of the ETFs, it might sound funny now, but I do think there could be a chance of a Doge ETF simply because it's one of the easiest coins to prove that it is decentralized. With ETH, we're kind of speculating whether we'll get the ETF or not. It is looking likely, but it really wouldn't surprise me, even if we don't get the ETF. But I think it will become a narrative that people will start to speculate on will be the Doge ETF, and that will be what sends it to new all-time highs. Now, whether it gets approved or not, we don't care. We just need enough people to believe the narrative and bet on the narrative, and that is enough. That is what could send these coins to infinity, right? So Doge I'm very bullish on, SHIB I'm very bullish on, and what I think could be the next SHIB is the coin that we're going to be speaking about in this video. So the coin is OMNOM. Now, shout out to Arrogant FRFR, a great thread on his thesis, and I completely agree with the thesis that he's got here. And the basis of the thesis is that generally the first meme coin on a certain chain is the one that tends to do well, right? That is kind of the meta at the moment. He gives the example here of SHIB was the first meme coin on ETH, BONK was the first meme coin on Sol, which we've seen go to crazy valuations, and WELSH was the first meme coin on BTC, and WELSH has been doing pretty well. I'm pretty bullish on WELSH. Now, OMNOM is the first meme coin on the first meme coin. It is the first meme coin on Doge. And you can see it says here, this cycle is led by memes, best asset class favored by retail with the highest upside. The strongest narrative has been the first meme coin of Exchange, like we just spoke about. And then he goes into why he's bullish on OMNOM. So you can see he says here, this leaves us with Doge, unpumped in a meme-led cycle, BTC all-time high imminent, retail truly entering the market. What happens when Doge pumps? And he says here, he thinks Doge goes to $3 this cycle, possibly higher, which I pretty much agree with. Like I say, I do think that after the ETH ETF, if it gets approved, then that is a key. That there will be speculation on things like a Solana ETF, maybe a Chainlink ETF, maybe a Doge ETF, and things like that. There will be speculation for more ETFs. And I think that Doge could fall into that narrative, whether it gets approved or not, whether BlackRock or any of the ETF providers even file for one, I don't really think will matter too much. I think enough people will start speculating on it, that is what could send Doge to much higher levels. And then naturally, people are going to look for the beta play. People are going to look for the OMNOMs, the SHIBs, the BONKs, the WELSHs, because they already think, oh, Doge has pumped a lot. Let me get in the smaller thing that could go to a penny is what a lot of people think. So he said, what happens when Doge is at $500 billion market cap? Now, that's pretty insane to think, but when it starts getting to these kind of valuations, it would be around a $500 billion market cap. And he says, this is where I remembered OMNOM, the first meme coin launched on the first L2 of Doge chain. In 2022, Doge Eat Doge OMNOM launched on the 10th of August 2022, and it is the first meme coin on the Doge chain. It's on CoinGecko, it's on CoinMarketCap, and it's already trading on MEXC, which is actually where I got it, and it's also on the DEX as well, OMNOM Swap. They have their own DEX. So it's not just a meme coin, they've also got their own decentralized exchange. Then here he goes on to speak about how you can actually buy it if you wanted to buy it for a DEX. For most people, it's probably just easier you go to MEXC if you've got an account with them. If not, there will be a link in the description where you can make a MEXC account. And you can see here, he says the chart is bottomed out. 69% of the supply has been burned to the Vitalik wallet via the Doge chain. So for those of you who don't know, Vitalik is the founder of ETH. And it's also what SHIB did. SHIB sent a bunch of their supply to Vitalik. And then he goes on to talk about targets. He says 1 billion is the new 100 million, and this definitely deserves 100 million. Here he gives some calculations about where he thinks it could go. He says we always aim for 5% at least of the layer of the leading meme coin. If Doge goes to 500 billion, which would be, $500 billion market cap, then 5% is around $3 billion market cap. Now, do I think it can get there? You know, sure, obviously anything is possible. If you look at the current market cap, it's about 18 million right now, just under 18 million. So if it were to get about to 2 billion, that would be about 100x roughly, just over 100x. If it got to 3 billion, it would be about 150x, right? So there's some huge upside. Don't get me wrong, this comes with extreme risk. I'm not saying this is definitely going to happen. I'm not saying this is, you know, 100% a short trade. This is very, very risky. And this coin has pumped a lot already. So this is very risky, but I do think this does stand a chance to be one of the best performing meme coins right now. So relatively low market cap. It meets a really good narrative. I think Doge is going to do really well. And I think people will look for the beta play. People will look for the SHIB of this cycle. And this just makes sense, right? If you're on the left curve, which most of us are, this makes a lot of sense. Now, some of you guys are probably thinking, you know, this has already pumped quite a bit. Have I missed the opportunity? Obviously, the market cap is still relatively small compared to where it could go. But also, if you look at SHIB, right? So SHIB, I don't think this is actually all of the data, because if I'm not mistaken, I think SHIB actually started trading around August 2020. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But you can see here, there's enough data, right? So SHIB had an initial pump and sold off. I guess you could call that similar to the pump we had here, and then it sold off, right? So this was the pump on launch, and then it sold off. And then it had this moon mission, right? Which SHIB had here, had a moon mission, it had a pullback, right? So after this initial pump, you probably would have thought, you know, you've probably missed a boat on the trade. When you actually zoom out, you can't even see that pump. It is pretty much nowhere to be seen, right? And then obviously SHIB went on to make all-time highs. So if we really zoom in, this was the pump, and this is how much higher it went, right? So there we go. So that pump looked insignificant is my point. And if I'm right, if arrogant FRFR is right, then this still has much, much higher to go. And like I say, I do think it stands a good chance of being the next SHIB. It's still a low market cap compared to where we're seeing a lot of meme coin valuations. You look at things like Dog with Hat, BONK, even SHIB and Doge, both sitting around the 20 billion sort of mark. I think there's value to be had if you're looking for speculative meme coins, right? And that is the key here, speculative meme coins. These are not some life-changing tech. This is purely a gamble based on a certain narrative that we think will do well. Now, some other contenders that I think could be the next SHIB. One is PopCat. As you guys know, I'm pretty bullish on cat coins. I think cat coins are relatively mispriced compared to dog coins. And I think PopCat has a good chance to be the leading cat coin on Solana. A lot of Solana meme coins tend to be mooning because it's pretty cheap to use the chain, whereas Ethereum is obviously pretty expensive. So PopCat is one I think that stands a chance. $173 million valuation. It wouldn't surprise me to see this at a multi-billion-dollar valuation, somewhere between the kind of 1 to 3 billion sort of mark when things really start to kick off. Now, it's important to note I first started buying PopCat around these kind of levels, had some pretty big drawdown on it, but now we are up pretty significantly on this. Another one is Chinu. Now, Chinu is the kind of, they're calling it the Chinese dog meme coin, right? On Solana again. Relatively low market cap. This one is really speculative, but it's already listed on some exchanges like Poloniex, and I think they've got some other exchanges that it will be listed on soon as well from what I've been hearing. But again, look, super speculative. I'm not telling you to go all in on this stuff. These are particularly Chinu is a very low market cap coin. It's just one that I think could do pretty well. There's probably some upside there. It has already pumped a little bit, but I can see it going higher, around $4.3 million valuation at the minute, probably runs to maybe 50 to 100 million, or it goes to zero. Who knows, right? And the same for OMNOM, the same for PopCat, the same for all of these meme coins. They could, of course, go to zero, but I think this thesis makes a lot of sense. I do think that OMNOM is going to do incredibly well, and I think it does stand a chance to be the kind of SHIB trade of this cycle. So that's it for this video, guys. Make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Join the free Telegram group with the link in the description. If you want to buy this on MEXC, there'll be a link down below so you can create an MEXC account as well. And then for those of you who want access to the Crypto Alpha Room, where I speak about all of my trades, not just me, but the other analysts as well, Dan and Murphy, there'll be a link in the description where you can join the Crypto Alpha Room as well. But that's it for this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.